Hi everybody, it's Allie. It's the August 2020 Soul Channel report. We'll also be bringing in some of the energy of the 30-day adventure. Some of you remember that. We did that for a few years, and it went on hiatus starting last year. But we're still in the energetic signature of that. So if you're just joining us, good to have you here. So every month we do the Soul Channel report. Hi Kelly, where we tune into the energy and the frequency of that month, and those of us who are meant to hear that message and connect to that energy will find yourself to this video somehow. And then we are also in the energy of the 30-day adventure. Kelly's had a lot of amazing things happen during those, I know, and that's between August 15th, September 15th. There's like this energetic grid that a lot of us have been in together in the last few years, and I've actually still been tracking the grid but not posting the videos, and I am thinking about putting them together and starting the 30-day adventure sometime soon, like actually soon, like in maybe the next couple weeks. So we'll connect on that, but we're in the energy of both, and so I wanted to share the energy that's coming through and activation with all of us. And I'd love to hear from you how August has been. I know it was a really intense month for anyone I know, including myself. Especially that first couple weeks was like really tight and intense and stormy. And it was interesting because August 1st, when I tuned in, I got that August was going to be a real breath of fresh air, that it was going to really open our lungs and really allow us to begin to crap me so far. Okay, this video is for you actually, because that was the message that came through, is that this is going to be a month of like fresh air, and things are going to open and things are going to become more in motion. And I felt the same way the first week and couple weeks. I was like, man, this is a pretty tough contracting week. I have felt the energy really open, and I notice a lot of people are experiencing an opening as well. So this video is for you if you had a rough couple first weeks of August and you're beginning to feel the opening, and it's also for you if you haven't yet felt that. And we'll work together right now and do an akashic energy experience and just sort of like open that up. So either way, welcome to my backyard. It's a little humid here. I feel like I kind of look like I forgot the name of them, but there were those two Canadian like singer-songwriters from the 90s that had the really long hair. And I can't remember I can hear the song in my head, but I can't remember the name of it. But I feel like I have like a Canadian 1991 dude's hairdo. And so I thank the humidity for that. But let's just take a couple breaths here. We'll ground in, we'll settle in. I'll share the transmission about the month. We'll go into the akashic energy. And that's how we'll do it. And we'll just see who's here. All right. Yeah, feel free to share and let me know how this month has been for you. And let's just first start by just little subtle micro adjustment. So wherever you are right now, take a couple breaths and also just like feel your body and notice if you've actually been holding a pose that's not that comfortable. That's a little bit about what this month is about. This month is about realizing how you've been tolerating and holding, and actually beginning to use very basic, simple adjustments in your life and in your lifestyle to begin to course correct. So let's start right here and just start with like how you're breathing, how you're moving. If you actually are like a little uncomfortable right now and you realize you've needed like a stretch, or to just like move your shoulder, or maybe you haven't just like really exhaled or inhaled that deeply, or maybe you need to just like take a minute and just fuss with yourself and just make a few adjustments and let yourself be more comfortable than you were 2 seconds ago. We'll just take a breath here. Beautiful. And then letting the shoulders relax. And then letting the belly relax. And then when you're ready, when like the rest of your body has relaxed, now you can go to your heart. For a lot of us, this has been a disappointing, maybe an understatement for some of us. And for some of us, it's just been really different. And so either way, that when there's a lot of rapid change or a lot of deep, painful disappointment or a lot of fear, we can begin to protect our heart, our literal heart. So our body might be bunching up more, and we probably aren't like, people are working from their kitchen table and that sort of thing. So let's just make sure our body is open, so our heart is open, because we really can't feel the next step if we're not in touch with our heart. But this was the kind of year that would make you feel a little protective of your heart. So let's just take a few breaths here, letting the rest of the body relax, noticing if you had been hunching over and like protecting the heart area. And just begin to let the heart actually open. And as you let the heart open, you might find some awareness going to the lungs. The lungs were a big focus when I tuned in for the month. And it's like being able to really receive, really breathe in, really begin to oxygenate and move, right? Move, like at least just start circulating in the body if we're not circulating around each other. So I want you to just feel the way the body relaxes, and now the heart's a little more open. And now we can actually feel our lungs a little bit more, and now we can like actually breathe. So let's take like another minute and just be in that of like, wow, I didn't realize, maybe I didn't realize my back was crunched up. Maybe I didn't realize I've been feeling a little tender here. And just feel how safe it is to just be with yourself, be with me, be with the collective group of people that are choosing to make the space to like prioritize just a little moment of breathing and adjusting and feeling, and just feel how safe it is to actually just be with your heart, be with your lungs, be with your breath. Really good. And we're actually just going to go right into the activation. I guess I'll talk a little bit about the month as we're doing the activation. But for all of us, this was a change in our month. And so what I'm noticing, and we're just going to stay really slow and soft like this. What I've noticed is some of us, maybe we're in a rut, maybe have had the same sort of life or pace or rhythm for a really long time. And the pause on the external world meant having to pause that rhythm and that pace, and now having to be with ourselves and be with our life. We've talked about this, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but it's uncomfortable. It's creating some of the contraction and the fear. Is the more wild the external looks, the more intimate we have to be with the internal. And the more intimate we have to be with the little world we've created around us. And sometimes we've been so busy in the external, we didn't realize we've outgrown the internal. The external we've created. The internal, actually, yes, that's the right word choice. The internal way we've been living and thinking about ourselves and other people and what's possible. And that little like internal cocoon of, our immediate life. Sometimes we don't realize, oh wow, I outgrew being that way and feeling that way and relating that way, and I've just been so busy. And so some of us in August, we had to really feel the intensity of the rut, the need to put the wheels in motion in a different way, and not realizing how long it's been since we've made a really big change in our life. And so many people I know are making a really big change. They're moving, they're quitting jobs, things like that, right? Relationships, just like all the stuff, right? Like a lot of us didn't realize, oh wow, when things are on pause, this is actually no longer the way for me. And I'm not, it's new and vulnerable to make a big decision. I didn't realize how long it's been. And so some of us are in that. And some of us are people who were constantly big decisions, making big trips, right? Like traveling and kind of living more maybe a gypsy way, and on to the next relationship, on to the next program, on to the next city. And all of a sudden there was this major pause, and it's the same sort of question of like, oh wow, like I don't know how to be still, and I haven't actually created the sustainability internally and in my little external, like super, inner circle nest to actually stay in one spot. And now I have to make some changes. So some of us are really good about not being in a rut, but we actually don't know how to hold the pose. And some of us have held the pose so long, we forgot what was going on, what we were even doing. And so either way, that energy, we've now been in this collective experience most of the year, right? So it's like we've had enough time now for a new normal, and to have to get really honest with ourselves and have to kind of be in one place without too much external stuff distracting us. But that's why a lot of the external story, of course, is so distracting, because we're so used to our own personal external distracting us. We don't have that as much. So now we're the media is creating a even more distracting external, but it's all the same pattern. And it's just a time to come within. And whether we're learning how to create sustainability for the next time we can move, or whether we're learning how to be comfortable making moves because we didn't realize it had been so long, it's created some contraction, and now we're starting to create some resource, some internal and energetic resource to begin to build a sustainable next step for ourselves. So all of us at this point know there's some sort of next step, whether it's a really dramatic next step, whether it's a really basic micro adjustment. All of us have gotten some really great data from this experience, and it's time for a next step. And so if you're still feeling very cramped and contracted this August, that's all good, and you be on your rhythm. And I'm just going to invite you to think about the fact that it might be because it's like, hey, let's make a next step. Let's get the wheels in motion. So that's what's happening with August. We're still in August, so wherever part of it you're in is absolutely perfect. We're going to go a little deeper into the energy. Good to see you, Tufik. And so if you're just joining us, we're just making little micro adjustments with the body and the breath so that the body relaxes, and all of a sudden the heart can be open, because oftentimes we overprotect the heart when things are really different or disappointing or scary. And it's like the heart has to lead us to the next step. And if life is uncomfortable right now, it's because there's some sort of next step, very small or very big, that's the right next step for you. And it's like uncomfortable to hold your foot up and not just put it down and take the next step. So we're going to take some breaths here and just come into that, the softness of the heart and the belly, the softness of the shoulders, letting the body adjust so that the lungs and the heart are really open and are really the focus in this moment. And again, we just come back to taking some really nice breaths, deep breaths, whatever, soft breaths, whatever feels right for your body. Let's do like 10 of those, and then I'm going to open the Akashic records. Awareness on the lungs and the heart. Another breath. Beginning to let this energy hold you. The love and support of our guides and guardians holding us. Feel that breath in. It's safe for you to change how you've been before this. It's safe to transform. It's safe to let this year completely transform you. None of your safety or security is based on you staying the same. Let that into the lungs and the heart. None of your safety and security is based on you staying the same. It's not even possible to stay the same right now. It's not even possible to stay the same if we weren't in this sort of experience. You're changing on a cellular level all the time. Your safety and security is not based on you staying the sort of person who sits in one place, right? And it's not based on you staying the type of person who's always flitting off to the next thing. It's okay to change. It's okay to find balance. It's okay to not like what you liked before. It's okay to change your mind. None of your safety and security right now in this moment is coming from any sort of decision that you need to stay the same. So we're just clearing and releasing any contracts, oaths, vows, decisions, beliefs that would have come from this timeline and dimension, or any timeline and dimension that would have had you think that your safety and security comes from you staying the same. It's not true. This is the perfect time to let yourself become more of who you are, which means not staying the same. And so for the next couple breaths, just let yourself breathe in the frequency of that. Maybe it's a color or an image, a word. Just breathing that in, knowing it's safe for you to change. And breathing that in, and as we exhale out, just let that go where that understanding needs to go into your body. Breathing that in. I feel that collectively going into the area of the body I'm brought to around relationships. So maybe we're afraid to change because it'll change our relationships. And I can't promise it won't change that, but I can promise that your security doesn't come from staying the same for your relationships. So we'll breathe in here and just know that there's actually going to be relief. When we really need to change and we're in a relationship where we're both kind of like in a pissing contest of who, non-pissing contest of who having to stay the same because you think the other person's going to freak out. The truth is they're feeling the same way, and everybody's waiting for the relief of who will let things change first. Doesn't mean ending the relationship. It means something needs to change. That could mean ending. We don't know, right? It's up to you. It's up to your life. So just breathe that in, knowing it's safe. It's safe in every type of relationship to transform, to be more of who you are. That's what this year was about. This year gave you the external experience to really become more of who you are internally, and then allow more of what truly represents you externally. And that's the decision-making place most of us are in right now. Let's breathe that in. Beautiful. Letting that go into your heart, into your relationships, into anywhere else you can feel that's needed for you. And we're opening the records, calling upon the guides, the guardians, and the teachers to be with us now. And just truly feeling all the energy that is overseeing this, the bigger thing. All of us have at some point had an experience of feeling something bigger holding our life, holding what's happening. Sometimes it's easier to feel that, sometimes it's harder, but just tap into knowing at some moment in this lifetime you felt that, and just feel the way that energy is here with us. There is so much non-physical energy, guide, heavenly, celestial, earthly energy that just is completely holding us in this process. One of the biggest processes that has happened for those who are embodied on the earth. So let's just breathe here. Letting yourself feel that support from the energy that you know holds and protects you. From the energy you're finally able to acknowledge holds and protects this process. Hardship doesn't mean we're not held and protected. So just breathe here, letting that in. And we're just calling upon the soul lineage of myself and of everyone watching this live and recorded in their fullest experience of who they are becoming, in the fullest experience of who we are really now, in the fullest experience of what's possible as we transform, because we were born for this time. We were made for these years. We've been training for it, whether we knew it or not. And so I'm just inviting all of us to just connect to that ancestry of ourself, in all the incarnations that we have the wisdom of, and also in the soul lineage of all that are connected to us. Letting yourself just really feel that network of wisdom that comes from this life, all the things you've done in this life that have prepared you in other lives, and in all the genetic material that is connected to you, that has been preparing you, that knows how to navigate, that knows how to stay put, if that's really what you need to do, and knows how to move, if that's what you need to do. Oftentimes it takes a tragedy or something that is perceived as a tragedy for us to do the thing we know we needed to do, but we didn't think we were allowed to. Oftentimes tragic and shocking circumstances give us permission to do the thing we need to do, whether that's stay put or move. So feel yourself tapping into all the intelligence that lets you know how to stay put or move. Beautiful. We're also calling upon the akashic vibrational record of August. As I call that in, just feel like the breath of fresh air. Feel that however you need some like refreshing air. Just breathe here the energy of August in how we are supposed to be loved and supported by August. Breathe that in, let that in. Feel that opening every cell in your lung. Breathe. And I'm also opening the akashic record of anything else we need to understand and experience, activate, release. Working together with love and integrity, the greatest possible outcome, the highest possible good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, yes. For all of those who are connected to us, and for all of those who are connected to the stories of our souls, knowing that our choices to move or to not, to stay put or to start to be more in motion, to make a little choice or a big choice, whatever's like the truth for us, each one of us, there's a ripple effect to so many. Acknowledging the power you actually have in that way. And so I'm just going to invite you to feel into the thing. So as I was saying, when there's some shocking, tragic, difficult, disappointing things, oftentimes it lets us break the rules we were using to do the thing we actually need to do. And so this month is inviting you to break whatever rules you've been gripping to, so that you can create a more sustainable base if you're someone who is on the move a lot, and begin to get the wheels turning if you're someone who's been paused for quite a while. So there's just something that could be good for you, that you know, because you are the master of your own domain, because you are your best teacher, your best friend, your most accurate oracle. There's just like a thing, and you're just going to be able to feel it right now if you'd like to. So just breathe here and just invite the thing that would be good as the next step. Doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be small. It's whatever is your next step, and just let yourself feel it. Awesome. Now, oftentimes we don't do that thing, or we're resistant, and it's because of like a thick, energetic coating, I guess I'll say, of anxiety or worry or unresolved whatever. And so I'm going to invite us in this moment to go deeper than the energetic whatevers and just go right to the thing. Like oftentimes we're actually connecting to the anxiety. We're not connecting to the actual thing. And my brother used to say, like, okay, get out of the story. Pull the story out. How close is the story inside of you? Get the story out. And so I'm inviting you to sort of do something like that. It's like, for the wheels to go in motion, we have to take things out of the wagon that are weighing it down. So it's like the thing, not the anxiety about the thing, not the worry about the thing, just the actual thing. And notice that you have the ability to go past the anxiety just in this moment and connect right with the power, the result that's possible. And just let your heart, let your focus, let your breath just connect with that. And just stay connected with that. And as you stay connected with that, as you make connection with that, I just invite you to feel and to know just the legions of support around you. You are so supported in that adjustment, in that decision. And now, instead of allowing anxiety, worry, yada yada, to, just for this moment, it's okay to have anxiety, worry, or anything like that, but in this moment, just let yourself bathe that decision with the love and support that's all around us. There's so many beings that are supporting what we are creating right now on this planet. So just let yourself surround that decision with that love and support and upliftment, rather than the other stuff that's usually coding it, and just bathe it in that love for the next several breaths. Beautiful. And then come back to your heart. And as you come back to your heart, gently bringing that decision into your heart. And now thinking of something you can genuinely be grateful for in this moment. First thought, best thought. And kind of blanket the decision, all the love and the support with gratitude. So just put gratitude right on top. And we're just going to let this marinate and begin to transform gently or hard, however you need it. And we're just knowing that whatever we've cleared here is permanently released and cleared. It's done. So it is. Everything we've activated and brought in together permanently with us, it's in our heart. Sending gratitude to the Akasha, to this technology, to everyone who's holding the space and creating this energy with me. I also am going to say happy birthday to Nia, one of my Akashic teachers, my first Akashic teacher, my only Akashic teacher, my first and only. Nia, happy birthday. Love you. Sending you lots of gratitude. And just anything else you want to be happy for in the face of so much. It's a revolutionary act sometimes. And let that just connect to the group. And as you breathe in, just feel the possibility to be grateful and happy, even with decisions to make. You can be grateful and happy even when it's hard. Just an act of self-care. And so for now, we know the work continues, and we know that we're connected by heart. And for now, we'll breathe back into existence the door between worlds, and the records are closed, and so it is. We're just going to stay gentle here. Hi, Cameron. Hey, Jess. We're just going to stay gentle here, stay in the zone. Feel free to share anything you want to share here. But otherwise, there's really nothing else to say at the moment. Just let yourself enjoy this energy. Some of you, I think, hi, Catriona. Some of you maybe are new to this work, but yeah, if you'd like to talk to me more about the Akashic Records, I teach it, and I also work with many people like, I can't even talk right now. The energy's so good. But I work with the records. They're good friends of mine. So if you're drawn to this type of energy, if you're drawn to making these sort of transformative decisions in your life and you want to really be held in deep support with that, feel free to send me a message. But for now, let's enjoy the vibes. You deserve it. You're doing a great job. Whatever decisions you're making, you're supported. We're always supported when a decision is brave and when it comes really from our heart. You've got a lot of love and support surrounding you, including from yourself. So I'd love to hear how that was for you or anything you want to share here. But otherwise, have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a beautiful rest of the month. And you just keep going. You're doing it. We're all doing it. We're doing it. We're doing great. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.